What's up, guys? Luke here, Will County Power Sports. I wanted to show you guys how I modded my 2004 Sportster oil tank for stunt riding. Go over some of the tools that are needed and some of the things that I learned doing it. You're gonna need a pipe tap, 3/8, a 9/16 drill bit, or you can get a step bit from Harbor Freight to drill the tank, a crescent wrench, a pilot bit, and then I just marked a location on my tank where I wanted to drill at, and then go to Menards and get a 3/8 90-degree elbow. You can get them in brass or plastic. I don't think it really matters the durability, considering Harley went with a plastic oil tank, so you can pick what you want to use on that. But first thing you want to do is remove the oil tank from the bike. I don't want to make a video on that because I'm sure you guys already know how to do that if you're getting to this point. So this is the location that I chose to drill and tap. If you're looking at the oil tank with the orientation like this. I actually have another one done here that I fucked up, and I'll go over that in a second. Here's one that I already completed. The oil tank obviously sits on the bike like that. So when you go into the 12 o'clock position, it still picks up oil better than at the supply line down here. And I'll go over what I did with plugging that hole there, because you're gonna have to do that. But yeah, you just do a pilot bit and then get yourself this tap kit, actually, pipe tap kit I bought from Harbor Freight. You can get that there. Once you drill it to your appropriate 3/8 tap size, which is a 9/16, it's actually, I think, like 10 thou under, but 9/16 will work. Drill it out, tap it, make sure you're square. You want to, when you're tapping it, you're not way to the left or way to the right. I kind of got it as close as I could, and you only got to go about halfway down on the tap itself because it's tapered, so about halfway down. And then if you want to measure, because obviously this is going to get tight only at a certain orientation, you want to make sure that it gets tight facing downwards, because that's the way the oil lines run. You don't want to, make it get tight when it's facing like that. You want it to be tight when it's facing like that. And if you got to tap it a little deeper, you just tap it a little deeper to get that extra little oomph out of it. You don't want to go too tight with these because it's plastic, and you don't want to crack that tap hole right there, because then you'll be in a bad situation. But yeah, that's really it. You could put Teflon tape on here. I actually put JB Weld on mine just because I did not want it to leak, because it's a pain in the ass to get these tanks on and off. So the first one I did, I JB welded it. Turned out pretty good. The thing I messed up with this tank is when I was removing the vent line here, it snapped off flush. And if you notice on the other ones, there's a plastic prong there. And I had the bright idea to plug that, and then I was going to vent my cam chest to the atmosphere, or a catch can. Well, don't fucking do that, because that's the vent line for the oil tank, and it will pressurize your oil tank when the engine's running and explode these. So note to self, the line coming off the cam chest is not to vent the cam chest. It's for the vent tube from the oil line to the cam chest and then out of the breathers. That's something I learned along the way with this. So be very careful when removing the fitting on here, because if you snap that flush, that line runs all the way through the tank, and then it vents out through that tube. So you can't really repair that if that breaks off there. At least I didn't think I could. So I had to go on eBay and buy a whole nother tank. And it was about $150, and Harley wants like $230. So don't break that off, and don't plug that, otherwise you'll be in a bad situation. But other than that, once you get it tapped, put your little pipe dope on there, whatever you prefer to use, screw it on there, and that's not the right orientation, that's the right orientation, and then you're good to go. Then you got your 2004 and newer oil tank set up for wheelies, and this will again work for any of the newer Sportsters. The 2003 and unders are a metal tank, where Harley was actually spending a little bit of money And then they went to the plastic one. These ones you can mod too. You just gotta, obviously it's a little bit more involved. You can either weld it back on, or you can use JB Weld, but I'm not really a fan of JB Weld. If I got something metal, I'll go ahead and just weld it. But the 03s can be put back here also. 03 and under can just be plugged off and then drilled in. Put a little bung on there like I did with the 90 on there, or however you want to do it, whatever type of fitting, and weld that on there. I'd recommend that when it comes to metal. But yeah, that's it. Any questions on that, just let me know, guys. Just wanted to share that video with you, especially this fitting here. That really screwed me. My tank blew the oil cap right off, right in my face. So yeah, lesson learned. One more thing I wanted to add was, once you start drilling on these and tapping on them, the plastic debris is going to fall into the tank. So if you got a parts washer, I'd recommend really getting in there and cleaning that all out with a parts washer. The air, even if you get in there with like compressed air, it's going to stick because the oil that's inside there. So maybe get yourself a couple brake clean cans maybe, but definitely get that in a parts washer and get all those plastic debris out of there. And I even took the hose to mine afterwards and really flushed that all out, because they are pretty big pieces, and that's the last thing you want going through your engine. So run some brake clean through there, run it through the parts washer, and then really hit it with some air and get all this shit out of there. You do not want that going through your oil pump nor your engine.